Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Bill Kearney. I teach computer science. I'm full-time at Columbus Community College, and the Fresno State people asked me to fill in and cover Computer Science 1 for them. So I agreed to, because Computer Science 1 is kind of my favorite class in a lot of ways. It's a really fun class, and I hope all of you guys are going to learn a lot, but also have a good time in it. The truth of the matter is, it's a weird class. It's most computer science classes, you're like learning to program, or you're like building software things, or maybe doing some wiring with blinking lights and stuff like that. And computer science 1's a little bit different. We are going to do programming in this class. We're going to take you through an introduction to programming using a programming language called Scratch, we'll get into in a bit. But we also talk about the implications of computer science. We talk about the social dimensions of computer science. We talk about the current issues of the day, and we talk about how Facebook and Twitter are impacting the world, and debate. We're going to debate: are they good or are they bad for society? And so this is a different class than most computer science classes. Normally you're just like building stuff. It's most computer science, you're just learning how to program or something and then making programs. And in this class, now you're it's like if you guys have ever seen Jurassic Park, one of the guys, Jeff Goldblum, I think says, the people were so fixated on if they could do it, they didn't stop to think if they should do it. And so in this class we will talk about that. Like art, is something morally ethical, in computer science. More, like right now, like a hot thing, just as an example right now, is facial recognition, right? When I was in college, I graduated in 2002 or 2003, something like that. I graduated every year, actually. I kept just going to the graduation ceremony because it was funny for me. So I actually don't really remember when I graduated, because I went to like every graduation ceremony. And here you go. And and so when I was in college, we studied how to do facial recognition. And it was really hard. It was really difficult to write programs that could identify somebody's face. And now we can do it, right? But should we do it? That's the big question. What do you guys think? Have you guys heard of this? Like you can, if you're walking through an airport now, there's a pretty good chance that there's going to be cameras everywhere, and they're going to be identifying you based on your face. What do you guys think about that? Just go ahead and post something in the class chat channel if you can. I think it's unlocked, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's convenient, right? Like maybe you don't need to show your ID, right? Especially now that we got a pandemic going on. I don't want to get out my ID and hand it to them and have this guy touch my ID that touched everybody else's ID. Man, I want to dip that thing in Clorox, after that, right? So, maybe if I could just walk through and have him identify me on my face, maybe that's healthier. Maybe there's some benefits to that. But cool, but invades privacy. And is it? And by the way, here's one thing that I will tell you. I will disagree with you about everything. And the reason for this isn't because I'm a mean person. It's because I wanted to get you guys thinking about things, right? And so one attitude I want you guys to have in this class is the notion of respectful disagreement, right? And you're going to have to be disagreeing with people on the discussions. We're going to be having not debates exactly, but we're going to be having discussions on campus. And you will have to disagree with people. And this is something that a lot of people are terrified of, but you're going to learn how to do so in a positive manner. Okay. So Wilson DG says cool but invades privacy. And so I would argue, I actually probably agree with you to a certain extent. But for the sake of argument, I'll argue with you. And I'll say that there is no reasonable expectation of privacy at an airport. You know, a camera recording your face at the airport doesn't do anything that you couldn't do already, right? Like the security guard is there and you can see your face. And in fact, he looks at your ID and he compares your ID to your face in order to get into the airport. And so really it's just convenient, isn't it? It's just a convenience, so you don't have to get out your ID and hand it to them and have them handle it after they've handled millions of other people's, you know, IDs at the same time. Or, you know, or I could agree with you as well. So at this point, everything is privacy. Maybe it's a lost cause. Maybe privacy is a lost cause at this point. We should just give up on it and embrace the new, you know, world we live in. Sketchy, also inaccurate based on skin color. Yeah, that's a huge issue. That is absolutely a huge issue that Garrett G brings up, which is that, and we'll talk about this, but the facial recognition system is less accurate based on somebody's, you know, skin color, basically. And you know, there have been a number of cases where people with darker skin have had themselves be inaccurately labeled as criminals or things like that, and they get yanked out of the arms of their family and arrested and slammed to the ground, you know, because the facial recognition system was like, dude, that guy's a, you know, terrorist or a criminal or something like that. And afterwards, like, oh, sorry, yeah, our bad. No, not like, you know, that's really bad, right? And so so that's the kind of thing that we'll talk about. Cool idea. I think it's more helpful than harmful. You don't get much privacy. Facial recognition we use for convenience. Yeah, phone rate. You know, if you have a iPhone, I actually don't like iPhones, but this is an iPhone here, and it's got a facial recognition system to unlock it. I have it disabled. But it's actually my father's iPhone, not mine. I won't buy one. I'm not an Apple fan, but yeah, it's got facial recognition for unlocking your phone, so you don't have to type in a phrase or something like that. It'd be cool to look at a camera instead of an ID. I was always waiting for like the retinal scanners. You know, you'd always see those in movies back in the 80s, like, I don't know, Total Recall and maybe that was early 90s, where you'd walk up and you'd put your eyes on a thing and it would scan it. Yeah, but it looks like facial recognition is the new one. Yeah, what if somebody, Catherine Nathania said, what if somebody has the same face as you? That's a good problem also. You know, what if you have an identical twin, right? And then they can break into high security by just having the same face as you. Yeah. So yeah, that's the kind of question we'll raise, right? You know, rather than if you could, should you, right? Like in Jurassic Park. So let's go through the syllabus right now. It's sort of mandatory. We go through the syllabus on the first day, but I just kind of wanted to hype you guys up a little bit for this class because it's actually really interesting and it's really fun. Okay, so spring 2021, I hope. Good. Class is Computer Science 1. If you were looking for French, this is not the right class. All of our lectures are going to be on Discord, and then I'm also going to stream them on YouTube so that if you... did I pin that? Did I pin the link to that? Yeah, it's pinned. So if you're on Discord right now, there is a pinned note for the YouTube stream. So this video stream on Discord can fill up if we exceed 50 people, which it looks like we have. So you can watch the stream on YouTube instead. You won't miss anything. I think it's delayed by like 4 or 5 seconds. So that you know, that I wouldn't have both. I wouldn't have both going at the same time because you'll get a really weird echo. Okay. Yeah, telephone. I don't even know why those are on a syllabus. So office hours are every day from 11 to 12. I don't. So if you guys are on Discord right now, here I'll swing the screen over. Here. There we go, on Discord. You'll see that there's an office hours channel, and I don't hang out there during office hours because that would mean I would have a hot mic in my office here all the time, and like as you saw in the background, like people just come wandering in to my office here at random times. So if you want to meet up on office hours, just message me, all right? And just be like, hey, could we meet up there at 11:40? And I'm like, sure. And then I put in a thing on my cell phone, and it beeps at me, and I join office hours that way. But honestly, it's not necessary unless like you actually need to have like a conversation or something like that. You can just message me on Discord at literally any day or night that you want. I am basically on Discord most of the day, and I enjoy answering questions from students all the time. So feel free to message me on Discord any question you want. I'm a nice guy, and I enjoy talking to students. So sometimes students apologize. I don't know if I can message you. And like, yeah, that's why I'm here, dude. That's why this whole thing's set up, is because I really want to have that connection with you guys. One of the problems with online learning is that everything's disconnected, and you're sitting in your house and I'm sitting in my house, and you don't have that same interaction that you have face to face. And so I really thought about what I could do differently this semester from last semester. And last semester just felt so disconnected that I didn't enjoy it as much as I usually do, because I like having conversations with students where, will there be an office hours requirement? No, you do not have to come to office hours, trust me. If you never come to office hours, that's perfectly fine as well. There is, at Fresno State, they have this thing called like discussion days. Like at the end of the semester, there's like 2 days or something like that where professors have like office hours like all day long or something like that. We'll get to that at the end of the semester, but that's not required either. So there is no office hours requirement. There is a class participation requirement. So hopefully all of you guys on Discord have tagged yourself. I'll pull Discord up again, and you'll see that in the hashtag guide section here, there's rules on how to change your nickname. Make sure that your nickname has your last name in it. You will not get class participation points if your username is Linux user 420 hashtag Go Bears or something like that. Like I don't know who you are, right? If your Discord nickname is something like that. So make sure your Discord username has at least your last name in it. And the guide here shows you how to set your name and all that kind of stuff. And so the most important thing here that students always miss is this step right here. To assign yourself your role, you need to select the reaction on the message below that coincides with the class you're currently in. So click on CSCI 1. That's the class you're in. And when you do that, the Discord bot changes which parts of Discord are available to you. And in the lecture room that we're in right now, you can only chat in it while I'm lecturing. Outside of class time, there is a channel in the Help Center. So over here, in the Help Center, there is a channel called CSCI 1. You can ask a question on there 24/7. Other students can help you. Experienced students can help you. One of the really nice things about the group of students we've built up over the years is that we have this tradition of experienced students helping newer students. And so even though they're not being paid for, like, some of them, I guess, are probably actually paid tutors or whatever. But a lot of them, most of them are just, people that just kind of hang out on Discord. And they're like, oh, students having trouble, talking on Discord. Here, let me help you with it. Oh, students having trouble making, the cat move on the screen. Here, let me help you with it. And it's just this really nice, really positive, atmosphere that we got here. And I hope you guys, we'll thank them, do the emojis or whatever, like thank you, because most of them are not getting paid. They're just nice people that like to help out. And when you guys become experienced students, you're more than welcome to help out too, and pay it forward, or whatever the term is. Okay, so let's put that back over there. All right. So welcome to CSCI 1. Health screening is not relevant. We're going to be completely online. You're never going to see me except through the computer screen. You have to have intermediate algebra, so algebra 2. You have to have. All right, so you have to have the textbook. We're going to be doing readings periodically through the semester, and the readings will be through Zybooks. So if you go to the modules section, you'll see that there is a link here to purchase the Zybooks textbook. If you click on that, it'll pull up a button to go to a new window. Click on that. And then the first time you launch it, there's going to be the thing on the right hand side here will be like, give us money. You click on it and enter your payment information, and there you go. Okay, so make sure you all purchase the Zybooks, and it's nice. It's an online textbook, and what's cool about it is it's got like interactive things. So like true and true is true, and it's false. True ended with false is false, and so it's got animations and things like that, and it checks you for knowledge. Is 10 a prime number? 10 is a prime number. Is that a proposition? And so it explains what a proposition is. A proposition is a statement that's either true or false. So 10 is a prime number is a false proposition, but it is a proposition. And so it'll run you through that. And if you get it wrong, guess what? If you get it wrong, it'll tell you that you're wrong, and then you just change it. Okay, so it's very low stakes. Feel free to, do your best to guess the question. To get the answers right. Shut the door is not a proposition. That's not true or false, right? But if you said true, it's like this is a command, not a proposition. It'll tell you why you got it wrong, and then you change it. So this is not a high stakes thing where you're gonna fail or anything like that. Instead, if you get it wrong, you just click on the right thing, and so really, and this will go for most things in this class, you can only fail this class if you don't do the work, right? This class is like very, it's not designed, this is CSCI 1. It's designed to be a very friendly, very nice class. There is going to be a midterm and final, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But, it's just like, you just do your work, and you're probably going to get an A in the class, or at least pass, And so, the Zybooks will go through, and it's really important you do the Zybooks. Last semester, I had some students, like about a third of the students just didn't do the Zybooks, and then the midterm came around. It's like, all right, we'll talk about, in fact, the things you saw, the things you saw literally right there a second ago, were on the midterm, and they didn't know it. And I do go over it a little bit in class, but you need to study it, and so there were some people that just never did the textbook reading and failed the midterms and failed the final and failed the class, and it's just like, it's really not that much work. It's maybe half an hour of reading, and what's really cool about it is that it reports back to Canvas that you did the reading, and so in the grades tab, it'll just fill in as you do the Zybooks, your grade on Canvas will update automatically. I don't have to grade anything. All those things are automatically reported back into Canvas, and you can check your grade on it in real time. It's really nice. It's a very nicely written textbook. They made it sort of custom for you guys. They sort of took chunks of other textbooks and put them together. What I did was I sent them my syllabus, and then they picked chapters from different books and put them together into one that's custom tailored for you guys, which if you were to do that with a physical book, you'd have to take a knife and like cut chapters out and and glue them together and stuff like that. So that's it's really nice. And I apologize that it does cost money. It does cost money. It's like, what is it, $58? What was the F? What was the F in chat for? I apologize. It does cost money. I was a college student myself, and $58. Okay, yeah, I was a college student myself, and I know how it is. So it isn't $300 like some of these textbooks are, but it is money. But it is also really nice. I wouldn't assign it to you guys if I didn't like it. The students who failed, yeah. I don't know. Like it, this class is just designed to, like, you just, go online. When I say, hey, post your views on facial recognition, just go online and post your views on, like, it's just, just do the work, and mostly you're just gonna pass the class. Okay. So there's three things we're gonna be talking about in this class. There's I'll just switch to the slide for a second. There's three things we really cover, and we rotate between them. We rotate between these three topics. And if you look, I'm sure you've all read the syllabus, but some professors have a schedule of, like, we're talking about this topic on this day and this topic on this day. And I don't do that because this class is very intimately tied to current events. And so, like, last semester, there was, like, the presidential election, right? And tech-wise, what were some of the big issues? Twitter banned the New York Post, right? That was a big thing. The New York Post ran a story on Hunter Biden. There was a laptop that Hunter Biden abandoned at a repair shop, and so the New York Post ran photos from. It was illegally acquired. If you abandon it, it's not your property anymore. And so the repair shop guy, turned it over to the New York Post, and they posted some of the photos online. And Twitter banned the New York Post, a newspaper, not a high reputation newspaper by any means, but they literally cut off their Twitter feed for 2 weeks in the lead up to the election. And so that's something we'll talk about. Well, I mean, we did talk about, because what are corporate censorship? It's not governmental censorship, but Twitter and Facebook have these censorous powers to shut down people's ability to talk online. And so we had a conversation about that. So there's no specific set schedule for when we cover events, because current events come up all the time. Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago, Twitter canceled Trump's feed after the riots and on the 6th of January. So, and so you can have a conversation about it. And again, the only thing that I ask is that you always keep things positive and respectful, right? The first time I did a discussion last semester here at Fresno State, 99% of them were, but, like, one guy's like, hey bro, I just want to tell you you're wrong, man. You got to think that through better, man. And I think he was trying to be funny, but at the same time I was just like, no, don't do that. Sarcasm and things like that really don't come through. Are you guys with me on this? Like, online, all that nuance, all of the tone of voice, it's just lost. It's just lost. And so when you're having these conversations online, and I'm going to repeat this several times, always be positive and respectful. So, like, that's, there's something called the sandwich model of disagreeing with somebody. So the first thing you do when you respond to somebody, say, oh, I liked, and you find something that you liked. And genuinely, you can always find something that you liked about what they said. Hey, I agree with you. I think that it is worrisome that just two companies, Twitter and Facebook, are controlling all public discourse in America. But, and then you say your disagreement, but they're private companies, and they have the right to do whatever they like on their platform. It's their playground, their rules. But, I do think this is a conversation, as you said, and then you say something you agree with. So you agree with them, then you disagree with them, then you agree with them. Do you guys understand? Hamburger model. Have you guys ever heard this term before? The hamburger model of disagreeing with somebody? You say something that you liked about what they said, then you disagree, and then you finish with something that you liked about what they said. I enjoyed reading your post about Twitter canceling Donald Trump, deplatforming, whatever word you want to use. I do think, though, however, they were in their moral right to do so. And by the way, this isn't necessarily a view that I espouse. Again, I will take a contrary position to literally everything. But I'm just showing you how to disagree with somebody. But I do think it's their playground, their rules. But I do think this is an important conversation we should be having, and thank you for making it. And when you do so, people tend to not get chuffed, right? Like, people get mad, people get angry when people disagree with them, and this is something we do not want to do here. Think of the people that you're talking to online as your friends, right? Right? Do you guys understand? Actually, no, that's bad. Because sometimes people are far ruder. Sometimes people are far more rude to their friends than they are to random people online. So, but just learn that sort of polite way of disagreeing with somebody. Positive disagreement, and that's something that I'm gonna be looking for. You will get an F on an assignment if you are mean to somebody in this class when we're having these discussions. You won't get an F in the whole class. You'll get an F on that assignment, and I'll say like, no, learn to disagree respectfully, because we're online and it's a lot harder. And in class, in person, I've literally never had a problem because you can all see each other, and humans have a really good ability to, convey nuance and through body language, through facial expressions and things like that. And online, all of that's lost, right? Are you guys with me? Like, if you guys understand, give me a thumbs up emoji on the chat channel. Kids who didn't read, yeah. Will they take a Bitcoin for Escape from Tarkov? That's funny. So positive disagreement. Positive disagreement. Yeah. That's probably the most important thing that I want to convey today. Is that when you disagree with somebody, positive disagreement. Okay. So the three things we're going to talk about: computational thinking, critical thinking, and social issues in computer science. What does that mean? So computational thinking is it's not like exactly learning to program. We are going to learn to program, and we're going to learn to design algorithms and all this kind of stuff. But computational thinking is more like the habits of mind. The habits of mind, learning how to think like a computer scientist. And that doesn't necessarily mean learning to program. Learning how to break a problem down, split it into parts, solving the smaller parts, assembling the smaller parts back together into a bigger part. That is useful in every, no matter where you go in life, that's going to be useful for you. It's called computational thinking. And you can think of it as like problem solving almost, right? Problem solving is useful everywhere. Everywhere you go in life, no matter what you do in life. Problem solving and critical thinking and learning to think about social issues, they're all good for you, And so even if you're not a computer science major, this will be a very valuable course for you. Okay, let's say you're going to be a chemistry major. Okay, so I know nothing about chemistry, so just bear with me. I apologize to any chemistry majors here. But let's say you go into a lab and you're doing flow chemistry, where you're not brewing a big batch of chemicals, but you're creating a system that chemicals flow from one station to another, and so you can just get this continual output of chemicals. And so, okay, how do you break this down? How do you set up the lab? How do you do quality control? I actually don't know the answers to these. I'm not a chemistry person, but these habits of mind. How do you test it? How do you go about? Because you're running the thing and the wrong chemicals coming out. Okay, all right. There's a problem here. How do I debug? Right? How do I break it down? How do I quickly and easily figure out what step is going wrong? These things are beneficial no matter what field you're in. If you're in writing major, critical thinking is really useful. Computational thinking is really useful. You're a farmer. Farmers have to deal with things all the time. All right, well, we don't have enough water this year. All right, how do I reallocate water? Or hell, one of the guys that I used to hang out with at Denny's in the before times was an almond farmer. Almond farming uses more water than almost any other crop, right? And so what he did was he got soil moisture sensors. He got this wasn't me. He just did this, and he put them in the ground in his almond orchards, And when he irrigated, these things would go down about 3 feet down. And he irrigated his trees. And then what he did was when the water soaked through the ground to the level of the roots of the tree, he would stop. Because he's like, if you put any more water into the soil at that point, well, it's just going below the tree, and you're feeding the aquifer, but you're wasting water. And so he was able to reduce his water usage by 90% without any output drop in his trees. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like water is a thing here in California, right? You know, water is kind of a big deal. And almond farming is incredibly water intensive. It normally takes a gallon of water to make a single almond. One almond is a gallon of water. Right? And if you can reduce that by 90%, which he did, without losing any output, that's a game changer, dude. Like, if almond farmers across California did that, and other farmers as well, like, that's a massive amount of water savings that solve maybe some of our water issues here in California. So all these things are relevant, no matter what field you're in. What's water? Yeah, good question. How about that snowpack right now, huh? Go up to the mountains and throw rocks at each other instead of snow, because there's very little snow right now. Okay, so computational thinking is kind of like habits of mind. And we're going to be doing programming, but also habits of mind that will kind of prepare you for CSCI 40. CSCI 40 is our beginning to program class. And some of you guys might have taken CSCI 40 already. How many people here have actually taken Computer Science 40 or taking Computer Science 41? Because Briona's, yeah. Anyone else online right now? Have any of you guys taken 40 and 41? The reason why I'm asking is because you'll probably be bored by maybe some of the assignments, and so I can come up with harder assignments if you'd like. So if you're taking a C++ class, yeah. So just let me know if some of the programming assignments are too easy, and I'll give you something harder. That sounds sarcastic, but really no. Like every semester I've taught this, I've had students that have graduated basically come back and just take one more class with me, and I'd be like, all right, you're getting seam cutting. Taking it right now. I took CSCI 40 last semester. Yeah, so I would give them some fun assignments more at their skill level, because if you're like Muhammad Ali, you don't want to be beating up like a 7-year-old kid. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun, but but you don't you kind of want some sort of challenge and make you think and stuff like that. So when we get to that, we'll get to that. Okay, taking it right now. Cool. All right. So critical thinking is a GE critical thinking class. So a student asked me last night, like in the syllabus where it says this meets your critical thinking requirement. What does that mean? What it means is that if you take this class, it will count. You have to take a critical thinking class to graduate, as far as I know. And the class will go over critical thinking, and then towards the end of the semester, you guys will write a 1,000-word essay, which is like not very long, honestly. 1,000 words is like 4 paragraphs. I don't know. It's really not very very much. 1,000 words sounds like a lot, but yeah, it's really not. On demonstrating your ability to do critical thinking, and then what you do is you submit that to the general education coordinator, and then you will get credit for having demonstrated you can do critical thinking. Okay. Is it possible to get into CSCI 40? I don't know. Like I said, I'm full time at Clovis Community College. I'm not teaching it this semester, but I don't know. You could probably check to see if there's spots available. It's already the end of week 2 though, so I don't know. At Clovis Community College, we just finished our second week there. Okay, so critical thinking. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is the ability to look at somebody's argument and go, BS, that's wrong. that's what critical thinking is. People will tell you things all the time. Politicians will tell you things all the time. Memes on Facebook will tell you things all the time. And you need to be able to look at them and go, huh, yeah, no, that's not right. That doesn't work. And in fact, I collect memes that my friends post on Facebook, and I put them into my midterms and ask you guys to identify what fallacy it is. So we're going to be learning about how to make an argument. And arguing with people doesn't mean like disagreeing with like, no, you're wrong. Arguing with people doesn't mean like just, no. Like, it's not like that. Arguing means to present a case for something. I'm going to try and argue that facial recognition is moral. I'm going to argue that it's immoral, whichever stance you take. And then you make an argument and you make a claim, you support it with evidence, and you reason your way to a conclusion. That's an argument. And then other people will have to look at arguments. You will also have to look at other people's arguments and look at the claim and look at the support for it and go through the references. And learning how to do that is probably one of the most important things you do, because our society is very online right now, and people make bad arguments literally all the time. Except not literally all the time. That was an exaggeration. See? So, and then we'll do debate, but it's not really debate. It's not like you're going to be standing up and debating somebody. What you're going to do is you're going to be posting your arguments on the discussion boards, and then other people are going to be responding to you and saying, this is what I liked about it. This is what I think this point doesn't work that well. Something like that. And again, it's going to be respectful. Respectful. Again, that's a watchword for this semester. Well, yes, but actually no. And then finally, social issues in computer science. So social issues in computer science is like, what impact does all this cool technology have on society? And the world is radically different today than it was prior to the rise of social media. Right? Social media is probably the single biggest change made to society in the past 15 years or so. And so we'll talk about then. What parts are good, what parts are bad. And we're going to be talking about ethics. What? Ethics in a computer science class? I didn't sign up for philosophy. Get me out of here. Right? But if you think about it, for one thing, everybody needs to understand ethics, right? Like, it's just something if you're going to be a person in the world, you have to understand ethics. Honestly, it should just be a mandatory class that everybody takes. But think about it. If you're a computer scientist and you're programming an autonomous vehicle to drive around in the world, in the real world, you're going to have to program an ethical model into that car, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not, there will be moral decisions that you will have to encode into the autonomous vehicle. Two people jump in front of your car. One's a kid, one's an elderly person. We'll go over all this. The trolley problem, if you guys have heard of that. Is it better to run over one person than 5 people? We went to the Stanford Autonomous Vehicle Laboratory, and I talked to them about this. That's a lecture for another time. But when technology impacts society, you have to think about it ethically, or it's just going to be wild. And a lot of computer science is just wild. People just do things to see if they could, not thinking about if they should. And so we're going to be talking about if you should do things, right? And so that's going to be a big thing that we'll revisit from, all the time, actually. These are the 3 topics, and we just rotate through them all the time. And so we'll do a little bit of this, and then we'll move to another one, and then we'll rotate, and we'll do that all semester long. By the end of the semester, you'll have the basics of programming down in a very user-friendly way. Let me go back to the canvas over here. On modules, modules are the starting point for this class. You should always just be looking at the modules every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or whatever, or between classes, I should say. You need to be checking the modules, and these things aren't published yet. When we get to it, I publish them, and then your assignments will appear on here, and the textbook readings will appear on here, and the URLs for these recordings will appear on here, and so modules is your home base for this class. It's going to have everything on it. Every lecture is recorded and uploaded. You do not have to be here for lectures. I shouldn't say that because then people are going, oh, I'll just not go to lectures then, and then I'll just watch the recordings at home. And trust me, it's a lot harder to watch a recording than it is to watch it live. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to be live, and it's more interactive too, because we can talk to each other, and stuff like that, right? And so I highly recommend you guys be here for lectures, but there's no penalty if you're not here. It's just one of those things where I just recommend it. It seems to me like if I was in your shoes, I would learn a lot better being able to ask questions and talk to the professor live than from watching videos on YouTube, honestly. But that's just me. If you don't want to be here, there's no penalty for being here. You can delete Discord. No, you can't delete Discord. Let's get to that. So module section on the Canvas homepage. All right. So let's talk about your grading. This is what everybody wants to know on the first day of school. How are you going to get graded in this class? Okay. So daily participation is required. Daily participation is required. You must say something meaningful on Discord every day of class. And by every day of class, that means like today's Friday. So you have until the start of class on Monday. So you have until 10 a.m. on Monday to say something on Discord meaningful. Okay? And so if you guys have already said something like scrolling up here, it'd be cool to, as a small camera to look at instead of ID. Wilson DeGroot said, I think it's my choice to go out in public and show my face. That's it. So Wilson has completed his daily participation requirement for the day. So he doesn't have to say anything else on Discord until after Monday's class or during Monday's class. So the window of time to participate starts at the beginning of class and it goes until a minute before the next class. And there is a bot that is reading all of your posts on Discord in the lecture center and in the help center. So you can post on either one of those, but you have to say something before the next class, because I want you guys to be engaged. I want you to be talking to each other. I want you to be talking to me. I want you to be participating, because that's what Computer Science 1's all about. Computer Science 1 is all about the give and take and the flow of ideas and things like that. And so you must use Discord, and even if you're not here for the lectures, go on to the help center and just say, hey, I was thinking about facial recognition. Why don't we I don't know, why don't we encourage people to wear the V for Vendetta face mask? I don't know. It doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be long. Even just a single sentence is enough to count. But there's a bot that's watching you, and it just sits there and writes down your name. Okay, Alejandra Hernandez has participated. Eric Briones, you can find your long lost twin. Okay, he's participated. And if you participate more than once, it doesn't matter. You only have to say one thing. Okay, you don't get more points for chatting more. It's just I just want you guys to get into this habit of daily talking and participating and connecting to each other and to me online, because I feel that's really important for online classes, to have that connection. I think it makes a really big difference. Okay, so 10% of your grade will be doing critical thinking assignments. So I will give you homework on critical thinking. Identify memes, or watch this YouTube video and write down what fallacies he makes. Okay. Computational thinking will be like learning to program stuff and other habits of mind. That's a letter grade. And all these things are basically mostly did you do the work, right? And so if I ask you to watch a YouTube video and find 3 fallacies in it, maybe I'll even give you the YouTube video. If you go online and find 3 fallacies in it, you get all the points. Like I'm a very mild grader. If I tell you to write 1,000 words and you write 200 words, well, you didn't do it. It's like my grading is very transparent. Like, you must find 5 examples of people making this fallacy or something like that, right? You did 4 of them. Okay, you get 80%. It's very straightforward. Like you know, most of this is just did you do the work? That's it. Just hang out every day, talk, do the homework, and you're probably going to get an A in this class. The only thing, textbook reading is on Zybooks. The only thing where it's not super hippie friendly and stuff like that are the 2 midterms and the final. So the midterm is going to be on Canvas, multiple choice, 20 questions or something like that. Here's a meme. Which fallacy is it? Click. Right? And so it is possible for people to fail the midterms. Although if you've done the work in the class, you should be fine. There was a lot of A's given out last semester. Let's just put it that way. And so do the work. The midterms and final are all comprehensive. It basically will cover everything that we've talked about in the class, from critical thinking to computational thinking to social issues. And as long, like, what ethical system, right, like we'll talk about ethical systems. What ethical system, you know, is this? I believe that actions should be judged only on their consequences. What ethical system is that? One of the answers is consequentialism, right? And we'll learn about that. So, yeah, I don't really do trick questions or things like that. It's just it's very straightforward. So that's where your grades are going to be. Daily participation is the only thing that you know, I really felt the need to highlight, because you have to come onto Discord, you have to participate there. Okay. We're going to be doing some discussions on Canvas as well, but that's not class participation. The discussions are going to be part of these things. So the discussions will be like, hey, watch this YouTube video and respond to it and things like that. There's not a huge amount of work in this class. There is work. It'll be a few hours of homework a week. Nothing too bad, I don't think. Okay, any questions from you guys? Something meaningful. Memes don't belong in general chat. Yeah, we have a memes channel for memes. So if you wish to post memes, post them in the memes channel. That's where they go. And if you have any music you want to share with us, post that into the music channel. But that doesn't count as participation. Participation is posting in the lecture room and in the CSCI 1 help center. Okay. When is the first Zybooks reading due? It'll be due in a week. It'll be due next Friday, and I'll put up the first Zybooks assignment in a few minutes. Okay. Standard grading scale. University policies: don't cheat, don't plagiarize. There's an honor code. Okay. So, standard stuff. That's what we're going to be doing this semester, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. I've designed this class to be enjoyable and pretty straightforward, I think. It's good times. So you just say something meaningful here on Discord, Ichi? Yeah, that's it. In fact, asking that question there, Kevin, you don't even have to say something. Asking a question counts as well. So if you're like, hey, you know, what kind of fallacies are we going to be talking about in class? That's there you are. Boom. Class participation. Got it. Okay. So Kevin Hammonds has just completed his class participation for the day. It's this is a very easy, it's a very low bar to jump over. Let's put it that way. I don't know if emojis count. So if all you post during the day is like thumbs up, like I don't know if that counts. Yo, first day of school, Pog champ. Yeah, I'm literally very excited for this class. Cool, me too. I really like teaching this class. It's different every semester, because what's happening in the world is different every semester. The world of today is very different from the world it was at the beginning of the semester, last semester. Like, different issues in computer science have come up in the meantime. Okay. Are all quizzes on Zybooks? No. These will be if you're looking at that, that'll be on Canvas. So I'll when they reviewed me, they said I was being too easy on you guys, and they wanted me to give you guys some quizzes on the textbook readings, and so I'll probably put some quizzes. We'll talk about that later, but they'll be on Canvas. So Canvas and Zybooks and Discord. Yeah. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon. Yeah. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit that bell button. If you guys want to come to office hours, you got to sign up for the Patreon. I'm kidding. The higher price tiers, it's horrible. Every professor's a streamer now, a professional streamer now. Right? That's something very different from when I taught this a year ago, right? Professors weren't live streamers, you know. Tier 3 subscribers. Oh my gosh. If we watch a recorded lecture on live instead of the live stream due to work, how do you get participation points? On Discord, that's a great question, Brenda. On Discord, the lecture room here is going to be locked outside of lecture time. So if you scroll down on Discord, you will see there is an area here called the Help Center. And so just say something on the CSCI 1 Help Center. And that's open 24/7. And so just come on there and say, hey, I really liked I just watched the lecture. Just want to say, man, that professor is really intelligent and what a great guy. You know, just post that on there, and boom, it counts it for you. So Brenda, you have from the start of class today at 10 a.m. until, what would that be, 9:59 in the morning on Monday to respond on Discord, okay? On either of the CSCI 1 channels. Either CSCI 1 here in the Help Center or CSCI 1 in the lecture room, okay? So great question. So if you watch the recording, just come on anytime during that window. So for most classes, you have a 48-hour window to watch the lecture. And the reason why I do that is so that you guys stay on top of the ball. So you don't fall behind in class. You know, because the real danger of these things is, you know, I'll watch that later, and then now there's another lecture. I'll watch that later, and then there's like 5 lectures, and it's way too much for anybody to deal with, you know. And so the reason why I do this is so that you stay on top of the ball. You watch the lecture, you respond to it, and yeah, that's why. Just watch the lecture every day, respond every day, and I'm sure you'll do fine in the class. Like it's not a hard class. It's just some students I found last semester really didn't have good time management skills, and so I'm trying to encourage good life work habits. You know, that's kind of why I'm doing this. Let's go Lakers. Let's set up for the $100 a month subscription. Are you free to leave? Yeah. We're done. So if you have any other questions, it's now office hours for me. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Okay. Have our assignments been posted yet? Will they be posted next week? I'm going to throw up the textbook, the first textbook reading, right now, basically, and then that's it. That's it for now. So you'll have a week to read the textbook. Okay, not the whole textbook, the section of the textbook. Have a great day, Brenda. McGregor beats Poirier. Bortles. Right. Sorry, wrong TV show. How often are we going to be using Scratch? Reasonably often. Yeah. That's part of the computational thinking assignment. So we're going to be using Scratch to make programs and things like that. Good luck, everyone. Keep a positive mental attitude. How far can identification go without passing that line of privacy and security? Yeah, that's a great question. It's a very pressing issue right now. Is Scratch needed for the homework? Yeah. On Canvas, right here, I've got the links that you need to sign up to get ready for the class. Syllabus, Discord, and then sign up on Scratch. There's no Scratch assignment like today, but you'll have to do this before the first, before we get to the first one down here. Okay. Good question. Can I get gifted a sub for the stream? I need to get one of those things where it plays a video clip over my lecture. So and so has subscribed to the stream, and it has a person dancing or something. I don't know. It's incredible. Wallpaper engine, yeah, it's wallpaper engine. Love it. One of my highest used games on Steam. That's well mentioned. All right, thanks guys, and I will hang out here for the next hour or so, and I'm going to stop streaming now. But if you guys have any further questions on Monday, what is due? Nothing. Nothing's due on Monday. Nothing's due on Monday. Next Friday, the textbook reading will be due. Okay. All right. I will see you guys on Monday. And if you have, like I said, if you have any questions, I'm going to hang out for the next hour, and I'll answer anything you need to know. All right.